Today's video is a replay of a live stream that I did inviting everyone into my course, Manifestation for Sensitive Souls. Now, if you're watching this or listening to it the day that this comes out, there is still time for you to join us in the course. It's really a course for those of us who want to learn manifestation, but who are sick of the toxic positivity, the good vibes only, the idea that if you're not manifesting your goals, it's because you're not thinking positively enough and it's because you have too many negative thoughts. We do away with all of that. I have developed a 7-step manifestation process that works no matter what mood you're in. I created this using my background in trauma-informed care. I studied trauma-informed care in grad school. I combined that with everything I know about manifestation, and this is the exact process that I have used to manifest hundreds of thousands of dollars, and I am teaching it to you. So if you want to learn this process with me, there is still time to join Manifestation for Sensitive Souls. The doors are closing on July 31st, 2025, and you can get started for just $55 a month. So if you want the information for the course, that is going to be down below this episode. And without further ado, let's get into the message for today. I hope you love it. Hello everyone. I am so excited to be doing this live stream, and I wanted to just come on here for 5 to 10 minutes and officially announce my new course, Manifestation for Sensitive Souls. I have been talking about it here and there in my email list, on TikTok, in Reels, but I have not sat down and just shared fully what this course is and who it's for and what you're going to be learning inside. And there are only a few more days left to join. Enrollment closes on July 31st at 11:59 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So I want to make sure that you have one place where you can get all the information, and that is what this video is going to be. So first things first, what is this course? This is a manifestation course for sensitive people, for people who feel their feelings in a big way, for people who have trouble just flipping a switch and suddenly, oh, now I can think positive, or now I can be high vibe. And a lot of what I see in the manifestation space after studying manifestation for 6 years is that the manifestation teachers will tell you that if your goals aren't manifesting and if your manifestation isn't working, it's because you still have too much fear, or you're not feeling positive enough, or you have too many negative thoughts. And basically bringing it back to this like mental health place of like your mental health isn't in a good place, and that's why your desires aren't manifesting. And ultimately, that's harmful for reasons that I'll talk about soon, but it's honestly just not been true in my experience. I have depression, I have anxiety, I have PTSD, and I have been able to manifest really beautiful, life-changing results. I've manifested hundreds of thousands of dollars. I've manifested great apartments in some of the most expensive cities in the world. And I have even manifested like deep healing in relationships with my family, where I grew up in a pretty abusive, very high pressure environment, and over time we have been able to heal our dynamic. And that's honestly one of the manifestations that I'm the most proud of. I don't talk about it very much because it is nuanced and involves other people that I love, but that's one of the things that I'm also really proud of too, is being able to do manifestations even related to experiences and areas of my life that have been traumatic in the past. So I am really confident in my ability to manifest incredible, life-changing things in multiple areas of my life as a person with mental health issues. And I have been teaching this work of manifesting even with mental health issues, manifesting in a way that doesn't require you to be high vibe. I've been teaching this since 2022. In the format that I've been offering it in the past, it has been a pretty high cost endeavor. You know, it's very intimate. It was very like long-term, multiple months of really working closely with people and getting to know them. And that was, you know, hundreds and thousands even of dollars. And I wanted to create something that was lower cost, that would work for any budget, and that allowed people to get the step-by-step process in their hands, so that anyone who wants to manifest, even though they have mental health issues, even though they feel big feelings and maybe they consider themselves a sensitive person like I do, I wanted all of us to be able to manifest incredible things. And now that I am putting this course out and pricing it in such a way where it fits into most people's budgets, my goal for this course is that it really bridges the gap for people who have been struggling to manifest money, or really anything, but especially if you've been struggling to manifest money. This course is at a price point where it can work for you, and it can help you change your financial situation regardless of your ability to stay high vibe. And that is what I was really feeling called to create at this point in my business. I just really felt like we needed something for the people who were struggling to manifest and who really wanted to learn how to do it, but who kept feeling like their mental health was getting in the way, or even life circumstances getting in the way, because that's another thing. If things are going on in your world that are making it hard for you to stay confident, to stay positive, to keep the faith, if you're experiencing challenges in your life, you can still manifest incredible things. Like, one of the stories that I like to tell is that I, in May of 2021, went through a massive relationship ending, basically, with one of my close family members. I say ending, but what happened was we didn't talk for 2 years. We had a big argument, we didn't talk for 2 years, and then over time we were able to heal and repair that relationship, which is, again, part of the manifesting family healing that I'm really proud of. But at the time it felt like that relationship was ending, and what I had to really fight for within myself was that the fact that something really hard is going on right now is not going to derail my ability to manifest money, my ability to move my career forward, my ability to get a new home, which is one of the things I was manifesting. Like, I needed to really be clear within myself that even hard things that were really sad and that were lowering my mood and that were really impacting my mental health were not going to derail my manifestations. And so whether it's you have a history of mental health issues, whether you're having mental health flare-ups right now, whether you're going through something that is just a bummer and that is lowering your ability to feel good in life, like, none of those things have to be a barrier for your manifestations. And this course is here for you if you want to manifest in a way that does not require you to feel high vibe, to feel good, to feel like you're bouncing off the walls all the time. And I also wanted to say that this course is so important because we already have so much toxic positivity in this world. And it wasn't that long ago that something like going to therapy or having mental health problems was like looked down upon in society. And there are still plenty of people in the world that basically will tell you that if you're not feeling good, that's unacceptable and you should be feeling better, or you should at least pretend to feel good and you shouldn't show your emotions, and basically that like any uncomfortable emotion is a bad thing and it's a problem and you need to fix it and there's something wrong with you. And all of these like negative ways of portraying the real challenges that people are going through when they're struggling with deep pain, when they're struggling with depression, when they're struggling with anxiety. Like, we do not live in a world that accepts that. We don't live in a world where it is easy and comfortable to even talk about emotional challenges. We are often, told that being sensitive is a sign of weakness. When I grew up, that's kind of how it was portrayed. And I'm not that old. But, when I was growing up, it was like, you're a crybaby and you're immature because you are sensitive. Or it was basically like sensitivity means there's something wrong with you. And if you're feeling big feelings, it means that like that's a problem and you need to fix that and you need to like toughen up, kind of a thing. And so, especially as someone who grew up that way, when you go into the manifestation space and they're telling you that your doubts and your fears and your big feelings and your uncomfortable emotions are the things that are blocking you from manifesting, in some ways, it's easy to believe that because we already live in this toxic positivity, very like ableist world that tells everyone that if you're not feeling good, it's your problem and you need to fix it. And I want to really ground this course into the bigger conversation of like, manifestation is not the only place where we don't feel comfortable accepting our emotions. Manifestation is not the only place where we worry that maybe our emotions are holding us back, where we worry that maybe our mental health issues are holding us back. Depending on what you do for work, depending on your relationships that you're in, it's really likely that there are other areas of your life where you believe that your mental health challenges and your uncomfortable emotions are hurting you, and where you're putting a lot of pressure on yourself to change the way you feel because you believe either it will help your relationships, or you believe it will help your career, or you believe it will fix something about your life. And ultimately, the thing that is going to be the biggest difference maker for you is finding a way to accept and embrace how you are authentically feeling, and knowing that nothing inside of you, nothing that's going on in your inner world, is going to disqualify you from living the life that you want to live. And this course, it is a manifestation process. I have a 7-step process that I am going to be teaching you in terms of like how to use manifestation to change your life. I'm going to be teaching you the exact process that I use repeatedly to manifest hundreds of thousands of dollars, the process that I use in my high ticket containers with my high-end clients so that they can manifest great things. You will be learning that. But what I also hope that you walk away with from this program is a deeper sense of self-acceptance and self-love and compassion for yourself, because there are so few spaces in this world where it is safe and acceptable to just feel big feelings and to acknowledge that things are hard, and to be able to hold the nuance of acknowledging that something is hard but not making it mean that things can't get better, or acknowledging that something is hard but then still saying, I'm not going to give up. Like, a lot of these things that people are manifesting, they're challenging. They're challenging systemically. They're challenging, internally. They require a lot of effort from you. And when you are going through the manifestation process, adding on that pressure of, and every negative thought is holding me back, and I should be more positive, and my uncomfortable feelings are blocking my manifestations, like, that is not going to help you. That's going to make everything that much harder, and it's really creating an unnecessary layer of burden on you that does not need to be there. It's causing you to do emotional labor that you really don't need to do, because there's nothing wrong with your negative feelings. There's nothing wrong with your negative thoughts. It's just about learning how to manifest in a way that does not require you to force yourself to be somewhere that you are not, because manifestation should be meeting you where you're at. And I really do believe that every single human being on the planet can manifest. I don't think it's one of those things where it only works for certain people. And I know that sometimes there will be people in the comments section of my videos that are basically the essence of the comment is they don't believe that this really works for people, or they know someone who it didn't work for, or whatever. And with those situations, I really want to say, there is a way of manifesting that works for everyone, and not everyone knows the way that works for them. But if you're willing to find the way that works for you, you can do it. And if you're a sensitive person, then manifestation for sensitive souls is the way that's going to work for you. And so what are some of the things that we're going to be covering in this course? I have it written down on my screen, so I'm going to look up really quickly, make sure I don't miss anything. Okay, so one of the things that we're going to be covering is how to relate to your goals in a way that doesn't leave you feeling overwhelmed and frozen and like you can't even take action whatsoever. And so this is something that a lot of sensitive people come up against, because sometimes you have a vision for your life, but it also feels so unapproachable and so far away that you shut down and you don't even move towards it, or you take a couple steps and then if it doesn't work, you're kind of like, well, see, I knew that was unrealistic. I knew that couldn't happen for me. And then you stop. And it's very hard to get traction, and it's very hard to get momentum. And I actually recently did a live stream where I went deeper into some of how to address this if you're experiencing it, but I have plenty of time and space to go into it in the course. I'm going to be giving you homework around it if this is your problem, and then we'll also have office hours and time for you to get your questions answered if this is a real concern for you. So if you have a vision but the vision freaks you out, and if it feels far away, and if you don't feel like you deserve it, and if it's kind of one of those things where it's still on the level of like, oh, it would be so cool if I could do this, but I really don't believe I could, then that is going to help you a lot, and I'm really excited to dig into that. Another one of the things that we're going to be digging into is how to actually clear your resistance rather than bypassing your resistance. And so spiritual bypassing is a word that gets thrown around a lot, but really all it means is using a spiritual concept to avoid looking at an emotion. That's really how it plays out. So if you're telling yourself that you need to be high vibe and you need to be more positive, then it's very easy to just pretend that you're not feeling uncomfortable, to pretend that you're not feeling negative, and to not even want to admit to yourself when things are hard, or to not want to admit to yourself when you are having doubts or when you are having fear of failure. But what happens is, when you do not allow yourself to really feel those feelings, and when you don't allow yourself to really acknowledge what's going on inside of you, it doesn't only like remain there, but it gets pushed deeper into your subconscious. And what Carl Jung teaches, the psychologist Carl Jung says, until you make the unconscious conscious, it will rule your life and you will call it fate. And so a lot of the times, these kinds of things can get buried deep inside of people. They start impacting those people's lives and impacting the way that they show up and the way that they make decisions on such an unconscious level that you don't even know why your manifestations aren't working out, especially if you're telling yourself, but I'm so positive and I'm doing the affirmations and I think I'm doing everything right. Why isn't it working? It's because there is resistance that is deep in your subconscious, and every time you quote unquote lie to yourself about it, you push it further down, and then it impacts you on a subconscious level. So one of the things that we're really going to be doing in Manifestation for Sensitive Souls is learning how to clear resistance and how to actually heal what's going on within you so that it doesn't impact you subconsciously, because truthfully, that is the thing that makes manifestation feel hard, is that you tell yourself you should be feeling differently than you are, and then you make yourself wrong for how you're actually feeling. You push that into your subconscious, and that impacts your decision making without you even realizing it. And then it is harder for you to create the things that you want. And so it's really about this pressure that you're putting on yourself to think certain things and to feel certain things. And that pressure is making your manifestations way harder than they need to be. And if you're here live with me, you can definitely let me know if this resonates with you, if you have any questions about what I just shared, because that's a very important piece. And we are going to have plenty of space to go into this in Manifestation for Sensitive Souls, where I can really work with people and where I can really outline, like, how is this impacting you, but also what do you do about it? Like, what is the difference between clearing resistance and just thinking more positive? And like, what are the steps that you need to take to actually heal so that those things are not impacting you negatively? Okay, so that's another thing that we're going to be covering. The third thing on this list is how to create a truly powerful state of detachment. So if you've been in the manifestation space for a while, you've probably heard that you need to be detached. You need to not be so, you need to not be so attached. You need to detach from the outcome, release it, surrender it, any kind of that language. I know that that's very common. That's what I was taught. And that is very important. But for sensitive people, what we tend to do is we go into avoidance and we call it detachment. And I was actually just talking to one of my clients about this the other day. She was basically telling me that she didn't want to manifest like specific outcomes anymore because she wanted to surrender. She's like, I know I said I wanted this, but I think in the name of surrendering, I'm not going to focus on it anymore. And a lot of people don't understand how to have a goal and be deeply devoted to it and deeply committed to it, and to honor that they want a specific thing, but not put pressure on it and not feel like you're clinging to it and gripping to it and like attaching your whole quality of life to it. And so then they're like, okay, well, in the name of surrender, I'm just going to say I don't want it anymore. I'm just going to if it happens, it happens, whatever, I don't care. And that is actually avoidance. And what that actually does is it gives you the space where you feel like, okay, I'm not putting pressure on myself about it, but it also stops you from taking the action that would bring your manifestation to fruition. Because every manifestation involves taking action from you in some way, shape, or form. And if you're telling yourself, oh, I don't really want this, or I'm just, I'm going to let it go in the name of surrender, you then also let yourself off the hook from having to take the action. You let yourself off the hook from having to do the things that would move the manifestation forward. And so one of the things that we're really going to be addressing in Manifestation for Sensitive Souls is what is actual detachment, and how, as a sensitive person who feels big feelings and who sometimes can get so emotionally overwhelmed that you don't even want to really think about your goals anymore, and so you call it surrender, but really what you do is you let it go entirely. Like, how do you hold on to it but not be attached in the spiritual sense? What does that actually look like, and how do you create true detachment? So that's one of the things I'm very excited to teach about. Whenever I talk about this with a client, it really helps, it really moves energy for them. So I'm very much looking forward to bringing it into this course format. And the final thing that I wanted to highlight here that we'll be covering across the course is what to do when you don't hit your goals. A lot of people will go into one of two places when you don't hit your goals. Either you don't hit it and you are like, okay, well, manifestation doesn't work, and I knew that this was bullshit anyway, and I'm not even going to try anymore, and you just give up entirely. Or you don't hit it and then you start trying to force it. You start really putting a lot of pressure on yourself about it. You make yourself wrong for not hitting it in the first place, and you really try to micromanage it until it happens. So typically people go to one of those two places, and really neither of those are going to help you. You will exhaust yourself if you start trying to force it, and you will disappoint yourself if you give up, because then time will go by and you'll wonder what would have happened if you had kept trying, and you'll kind of wish that you had kept trying. And so neither of those two things is going to put you in the place that you really want to be, and in the place that you really want to deserve to be. So I'm going to teach you what to do when you don't hit your goals, and specifically one of the things that gets talked about a lot in the manifestation world is this idea of this or something better. It's this or something better. I want to teach you how to access the this or something better piece so that when you don't hit your goals, you can actually manifest something better. One of my clients and I did this exact thing. She had set a goal for June. She didn't hit it. But then we did some of this work, and then in July, she hit the goal within 18 days of the month, and then by the end of the month, she had actually surpassed the goal. So that's exactly what this or something better means, is like, if it doesn't work out this first time, I'm gonna come back in such a way where I'm able to manifest something even beyond what I was originally dreaming of. I'm gonna be able to do it even faster. I'm gonna be able to do it in an even bigger way. And I want you to know that this is available to you. You really can have this or something better, but you need to know what to do when you don't hit your goals. And so that's one of the things I'm really going to be going deep into and helping people with, because a lot of people do get confused and get discouraged when you go for something and it doesn't work out initially. But honestly, when you go for something and it doesn't work out initially, I want you to be in the place where that fuels you and where that excites you, and where you're actually able to know that if it didn't happen the way I expected it to happen, something even better will work out for me. Like, I want you to know that, and I want you to experience that, because that's the big thing. It's not just like, these are thoughts I want you to think, but this is the life I want for you. Like, I want you to go through life manifesting so powerfully that if something does not go your way at first, you are able to create something even beyond what you imagined. That is available for you. I experienced this. I've helped lots of other people experience this, and I want to help you experience it too. So as a summary, some of the things we're going to be covering in Manifestation for Sensitive Souls: how to have a healthy relationship with your goals so that you're not overwhelmed and frozen, and so that you can actually create momentum; how to actually clear resistance rather than just putting some affirmations on top of it and then wondering why your desires aren't manifesting; how to create an incredibly powerful state of detachment that is not the same as avoidance, but that actually allows you to release the pressure from your goals while staying committed and while staying devoted; and then also what to do when you don't hit your goals so that you can actually manifest in the this or something better way that a lot of people promise with manifestation. This course is unlike anything out there. It's also unlike anything I've done. I've never put this into a step-by-step process and made it at this accessible of a price point. You can get into this course for $55 a month for 6 months, or one payment of $297. And if you can swing the pay in full bonus, you also get an hour-long private coaching session with me. This course includes 7 steps for manifestation that work no matter what mood you're in. It also includes weekly office hours with me so that you can get your questions answered and so that you can really see how these steps apply to your life. And then I know we have people in different time zones and with different schedules, so if you can't make it to office hours, I also give you access to email me and get any support that way, so that no matter what, if you're in this course, you can get questions answered and you can have, you know, some access to me to help you apply the material to your life. So I am honestly really excited to be doing this. I'm excited about everyone who's already inside. The last day to get in is July 31st. At 11:59 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you are thinking about this, I would really encourage you to jump in. If you have any questions, you can always let me know. You can DM me and I will answer you and we can go back and forth that way. But all of this is to say, Manifestation for Sensitive Souls is here. It is in the world. Toxic positivity and manifestation do not have to go together anymore. No matter what mental health issues you have, you can manifest. Manifestation is possible for you, just as it's been possible for me, just as it's been possible for my clients. And I cannot wait to show you exactly what to do so that you can start manifesting the incredible things that you've been dreaming of, and honestly, the incredible things that you deserve, without forcing yourself to be more positive or shaming yourself if it's hard for you to get there. Okay. That was all I wanted to say. I went over a little bit. This took longer than I thought it would, but I think it was for the best. I love you so much. I hope to see you in Manifestation for Sensitive Souls. And I hope you have a beautiful day.